Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Isabel Miller Community Center here in the Centerville section of Camden. I am Dana Redd, mayor of our great invincible city, and honored to be joined by a number of special guests and dignitaries, particularly our superintendent, Mr. Paymon Rouhanifard, and then also our council representative for the Second Ward, Mr. Brian Coleman. Please join me in giving them a round of applause. Today signifies yet another important step as we continue to advance education in Camden. Today, we re-emphasize our commitment to providing access to resources for our students, parents, and the entire Camden community. I've already acknowledged some of the speakers that you'll be hearing from momentarily, but I also want to take a moment and acknowledge our Renaissance School providers that are here with us today. Representing KIPP, Cooper Norcross Academy, we have Mr. Drew Martin. Seated in the middle is Ms. Gianna Solomon of Uncommon Camden Prep, and then also Mr. Kwame Floyd, who represents Mastery. Again, we are delighted to have such strong partners in the educational advancement of our children. Many in our audience and those that will be speaking today, including myself, believe that education begins at home. But it is also important that we recognize that successful education depends on a strong community and a strong collaborative effort. And that collaborative effort is clearly on display today in the form of a commitment to our residents and to our youth in the city of Camden. What we're talking about today is a collaboration between my office, City Council, the Camden City School District, our Renaissance School providers, local community organizations such as United Neighbors of Whitman Park and Liberty Park Neighborhood Association, among many, the parents, students, and neighborhoods that they serve. Our Camden City School District and the partners in attendance are committed to providing the Camden community with the necessary resources to not only ensure that children achieve and excel academically, but to guarantee families and Camden residents succeed and prosper. We realize the importance of taking a holistic approach to improving our learning centers and providing access to resources. And I can tell you that we demonstrated the importance of these collaborative and holistic approaches when we provided enhanced access to community centers, such as the one here in Centerville, through the Camden Parent Partnership sites. We demonstrated our improved access for our Camden families when we launched the first Family University classes, and then finally our Promise Zone partnering, which continues, where Camden is a designated location out of 10 among the nation. In addition, our Connect Home convening program offers expanded broadband adoption, technical training, and digital literacy programs for our residents. And yes, our Born to Read community partnership in partnership with the Center for Family Services advances literacy for our young people and their families. So again, we are proud of the progress that is underway in the city of Camden. Today, we are proud to announce another milestone, if you will, in the progression of Camden Commitment, where we announce a community benefit agreement with our Renaissance schools. Our Renaissance schools will be expanding their focus and commitment in the communities they serve: Lanning Square, Cooper Plaza, Whitman Park, Liberty Park, East and North Camden, among others. Our Renaissance school partners will be offering family programming, financial literacy programs, cancer screenings, providing access to gyms for neighborhood events, committing additional resources, and giving Camden residents preference for jobs and contracts. This, in my opinion, is a win-win, and this is what community benefits agreements symbolize and is all about. Superintendent Rouhanifard and others will go into further detail about those benefits and advanced services, but we are delighted in this progression. As I close in my comments this afternoon, I just want to reemphasize that I am a strong believer that great neighborhood schools are the foundation of great communities. Our Renaissance schools are making a tremendous impact throughout the city, and we are proud of their endeavors and their achievements to date. They are the anchors that help to provide stabilization to so many, and we will continue to partner with them to strengthen children, youth, and families. And with that, I'd just like to introduce another partner in the work that we're doing in Camden, particularly here in the 2nd Ward, our Councilman Brian Coleman.
Thank you, Mayor. Please give the Mayor another round of applause for the great and wonderful job that she continuously gives every single day. Her heart and desire is in this city and has always been. But again, it's just another milestone of what a partnership can do for a community, not only through the 2nd Ward that I represent, but the city as a whole. The education has improved dramatically over the leadership of the mayor and the superintendent and the people in this room in partnering with Center for Family Services, KIPP, Mastery, Uncommon, and all the partners involved in the community to improve the quality and education here in this city. So again, I want to thank you all for putting your best foot forward. I want to thank the mayor, the superintendent for a wonderful job, and to continue to make progress, not only in my ward, but throughout the city. So again, I look forward to working with everybody and rolling our sleeves up and educating our children and giving them the best opportunity that they need to strive in the outside world here. So again, thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilman Coleman. Our next speaker is the leader of our Camden City School District. He landed here, I believe, in 2013, and since that time has been very, very active in changing educational outcomes for our children in the city of Camden that deserve a first-class education, that deserve the resources in classrooms and teachers that can meet the needs of our young people, children and families. And so we're proud of the work that he's doing with the Camden Commitment and the next phase in the rollout. Please welcome our Superintendent, Paymon Rouhanifard.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. So just to set the context here, from the very get-go in our community conversations, we heard from families, community members, elected officials that clearly we needed additional support and capacity in the school district. And our realization early on was that no one person, no one organization can do this work alone. And for that reason and so many others, we sought the assistance and are grateful to have the support from 3 unbelievable nonprofit organizations in KIPP, Uncommon, and Mastery. Through those conversations, even from those who vigorously support these organizations, it was also clear that there were some concerns insofar as, will these organizations that aren't born out of Camden build their roots here? Do they really know this city? Will they invest materially? Will they build on the unique strengths of Camden? And so in those conversations, we clearly understood that, and as you'll hear directly from them this afternoon, they take that role really seriously. We take that role really seriously to build partnerships, to grow our roots together, to understand the needs of Camden. And also with a huge focus on the role of the neighborhood school. You know, that is something that is unique to Camden, much more so than other municipalities in the state. Most of our families don't have a working car. They want to be able to walk their kids to school. Public safety is a concern. The public transportation infrastructure here has some challenges. And so the neighborhood school is really, really important. And I think this, again, today's conversation is a continuation of that ongoing community conversation we've been having as far as how we can address the needs here. And what you'll see inside of the community benefits agreements is a willingness to open up the doors of these school buildings. You're going to see in the next few years, as you all know, through the new construction that's happening, beautiful new facilities in a city that desperately needs them. And thanks to these incredible leaders here, they're opening up their doors. They're working with local community organizations like Whitman Park Neighborhood Association and North Camden Little League. They're building partnership with nonprofits that have been here for a very, very long time. They're providing health services for their families, adult literacy workshops, after-school programming, you name it. And this is directly because our community is asking for it. They don't have to do this. In fact, most organizations that come into cities like Camden don't do this at the level that you will hear from these folks today. So I'm just so deeply grateful for your leadership and to be able to share this news with you today. Let me just close by saying I don't want to present this as some panacea, some cure-all. We figured it out. This is, I think, just as you heard from the mayor and council member, it's a step in the right direction in addressing our city's needs and rolling up our sleeves and doing the hard work. So thank you all again.
Thank you, Superintendent Rouhanifard. Again, you've heard about the community benefit agreement and how it expands access to our community and to our youth with our Renaissance schools. And again, this is something that residents have asked for in Camden for a long time, at least a decade or more. And so that's why today's announcement is so exciting on so many levels. And to present next is a young lady that has landed in Camden representing Uncommon schools, and what they've been doing to engage the community from the beginning has been remarkable. And we want to call up at this time Ms. Gianna Solomon to talk about Camden Prep and Uncommon schools and the work that they're doing in Whitman Park and Liberty Park. So please welcome her at this time.
Thank you so much, Mayor, Superintendent. On behalf of Uncommon Camden Prep, I just want to say thank you to everyone. We're just so very proud to participate in this announcement here today and to continue to work with the district and the city on these additional programming initiatives. I want to extend a special thank you to Councilman Brian Coleman, as well as our partners with United Neighbors Whitman Park, as well as Second Chance Ministries, Hope Street, just so many other community partners. We could not do this work without them, so wanted to extend a special thank you to them as well. So Camden Prep currently serves about 300 students in the city of Camden, from kindergarten through fourth grade. And at Camden Prep, we fundamentally believe that our community plays a crucial role in the success of our students and our school. And so we're just so excited again to continue this great work here in announcing the Community Benefits Agreement. And what we're celebrating here today really makes me think of a lot of the motivation and messaging that we teach our students, or scholars as we call them, at Camden Prep. Around our school, we have banners that say messages such as Ubuntu. And what we teach our students, which is very fitting, I think, for Black History Month, is, I am because we are. And so as we think about sort of the spirit of community partnerships, this interconnectedness and togetherness, that really much is a part of what Camden Prep does, all the way down to what our scholars learn each and every day in our school. And so while the Community Benefits Agreement that we're celebrating here today puts into writing some of the work we will do going forward, we're also incredibly proud to recognize the work we've done in the community since our school was founded. So last August, we were happy to partner with the Center for Family Services to give away 1,200 kindergarten readiness workbooks, not only to our scholars in Whitman Park, but also across the city. So whether students go to our school or another school in the city, we really take seriously this idea about kindergarten readiness and making sure that our students have the resources necessary to come to school ready to learn. Additionally, wherever possible, Camden Prep is committed to hiring local. So we currently have residents from the city on our staff. We're looking forward to continue to come together with our community partners to figure out what additional opportunities are available to benefit students and families and residents from all across the city. So from providing holiday baskets to warm coats that we're doing just this month, we really couldn't do this work without our partners. And so thank you again. We really do appreciate the opportunity to celebrate this work and most importantly celebrate our partners. And again, grateful to the superintendent and the mayor's office for bringing us together on this important work and to continue to move forward on what's, I think, very important work, not only for our school, but for our city as a whole. So thank you all so much. And I think I'm going to kick it over to another one of our Renaissance partners.
Thank you, Ms. Solomon. Our next Renaissance partner is someone that I've had the opportunity to meet and work with, I think, over the last 2 years. He hit the ground running in the Cooper Plaza, Lanning Square neighborhood, first to engage the parents in a new Renaissance school. And it was just last week we were there in the gymnasium that was dedicated for our sheriff, but just witnessing the energy of our young people, whether it's the cheerleading squad or even the basketball team, returning to that sense of normalcy that young people need to round out their life, and their academic experience is so remarkable in and of itself. And so at this time, I want to call to the podium Mr. Drew Martin from KIPP Cooper Norcross Academy.
Good afternoon, everybody. So in the summer of 2012, when we were first considering coming down here to Camden, I had the opportunity to speak with two proponents, or two very strong advocates for both the Cooper Plaza and Lanning Square community, Sheila Davis and Sheila Roberts. And they told us the story of the former Lanning Square school that had been shut down over a decade ago, 15 years ago. And they pleaded for us to come to the city because their community so desperately needed their school to be built. And what we've learned since then is that while the community certainly needed the school to be built, all of the residents had actually been sort of shuttled throughout the city for a long time, that the school also desperately needed to have a strong partnership with the community. Because we've actually learned that for our kids to achieve, they need a whole lot more than a great lesson plan. They need the support of the community. They need to know that their teachers are there with them, but they also need to know that everybody in the community stands with them as well. And so we have been so grateful for the support of all of the different community organizations and community members in the Lanning Square and Cooper Plaza neighborhood. I'll name a few of them here that we've started already and that we're continuing to work on. But first and foremost, we have a phenomenal partnership with the Center for Family Services. They were also some of the first people that we met. So if you are a kid growing up in the Lanning Square or Cooper Plaza neighborhood, then starting at the age of 3, you can come to our Renaissance School, because the Center for Family Services runs the pre-K in our building. Starting in kindergarten, when you turn 5, you can actually come to our school starting in K and go all the way in our building all the way through 8th grade. And I'll actually just pause here to recognize that one of the previous speakers had sort of mentioned that part of this community benefit agreement is to make sure that we are hiring people that are local when possible. And it was actually a great source of pride for me that actually during construction, there's a guy that I waved to all the time whenever I was doing a walkthrough of the building. He had been working on our building for over a year, and he pulled me aside one day and he said, "Hey, is there any sort of way that you could help me get my kid into the school?" And so I think what he was looking for was like, "Hey, you know me, I know you, maybe you could sort of get me on the list." And I said, "Well, it depends. Where do your kids live?" And he pointed to across the street. I said, "Yeah, I think I can help you out." And his child is actually a 7th grader with us now. And the reason we could help him out is because one of the things that's great about the Urban Hope Act and these Renaissance schools is that we give preference to kids that live in our neighborhood. And so it was great that actually his child got preference to come to our school, but it was also a great source of pride that this 7th grader can actually say, quite legitimately, "My father built this school." And we were happy that we could direct resources to people to both help build the school as well as employ them in our school as we continue to educate our children. So from the partnership with the Center for Family Services, they also, in addition to doing pre-K, they run a great program on Saturdays with the Cruise Nest. We have a color guard that is there on Sundays. And actually our building is specifically designed to make sure that we can actually open our doors up to community organizations. And so we have doors that front directly onto Broadway, and that was done very intentionally in the design phase going back 4 years now to make it such that we could still have school in session and still have other events that were happening in other parts of the building in the evening. And so we're just incredibly grateful for the great facility that we have that has been built by some local community members who also send their kids to our school. But we're also looking forward to partnerships that we'll have this summer when we're running summer school programs for our folks in partnership with the Camden Dream Center. We have a great neighborhood medical school that not a lot of other folks can say. And so we have a phenomenal partnership with the Cooper Medical School where they have their students come and do some tutoring with us during the weekday and do some reading. I think it's a phenomenal opportunity for a kindergartner to be able to look up to somebody that will one day be a doctor. So I won't go through and name all of the phenomenal opportunities that we have for our kids, but Superintendent Rouhanifard said that this is something that Renaissance schools don't have to do. And we politely disagree. We actually just really believe that this is something that if we're going to invest in our kids, that we have to make sure that we are intentionally investing in our community. And we see it as something that we have to do and that we're proud to do, and we're grateful for the opportunity. So thank you.
Thank you, Drew. The next speaker represents Mastery Renaissance Schools, which is serving the east and the northern quadrants of Camden, New Jersey. Please welcome at this time Mr. Kwame Floyd.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kwame Floyd. I'm the Director of Family and Communities Engagement at Mastery. And we too are thrilled to be here and really appreciate the work that you guys have been doing and the work that the superintendent and the mayor are leading. We have 5 schools here in Camden: North Camden, Kramer Hill, East Camden Middle School. I want to make sure I don't miss anything. Molina, and at McGraw. And after being here for the last 2 years, we have really thought about. Similar to what my colleague at KIPP said, beyond a great lesson plan, what's it going to take to make sure that our schools are preparing our students for the 21st century and preparing our families to navigate whatever challenges they may have. And when I first got here about a year ago, one of my family and community engagement managers asked me, well, what have we asked from our families? Have we asked them what is it that they would like to see in their own communities? We are a neighborhood school, and what is it that's in this particular neighborhood that's way different from maybe North Camden or way different from Kramer Hill? And when we did that, we found out there were a lot of different things that families were asking for. They were asking for things around health and social services. They were asking around legal services. They were asking for things around adult education and jobs. And we knew that these were things that mattered to them. These were things that if they weren't addressed would definitely affect their students, but we knew that we couldn't do it on our own. What we like to say at Masters, we know what we're good at, we try to stick to that. But we knew that there are other partners out there that are providing services. And if we have families that have those needs, we can provide the people and the services together. And some of those partnerships include something as simple as, something as direct as the North Camden Little League, who uses the buildings over at Pine Point to do their award ceremony. We have a partnership with the Food Bank of South Jersey, which last month at Molina gave in one day over 12,000 pounds of food to over 120 families, and that was in one day alone. So, things that the families have asked for, we have definitely tried to work with our community members for. Just last week, we had a health screening for women and girls with a partnership that included MD Anderson and the Cancer Institute that provided free health screens and pap smears and mammograms for anyone that asked for it and needed it. That was an incredible event last week. We're working with local churches to work with families around legal issues and expungement. We are also working with LaSalle University to provide some support with ELL and bilingual. Beyond that, even on my own team, which is a family engagement team, many of our members of that team are from here in Camden. And that perspective, and I'm not from Camden, but that perspective has helped us so much in knowing the differences in the different neighborhoods and the differences of what people are needing and asking for. So we're early in our stages. At each of our schools, we have a family engagement manager, so we are committed to knowing at every campus what our families are going to ask from us, and providing the resources that we can go out and find it. So if we can't do it ourselves, we will go out and we will work with whoever's doing it, so that our families have everything that they need. We're happy to be a part of this process. We're happy to learn from what you guys are doing. We're happy to continue to support what the superintendent and mayor are doing, and we're looking forward to everything that's going to happen in the future.
Thank you, Mr. Floyd. And once again, let's give a round of applause for all of our Renaissance School leaders. I think just what's been highlighted today about the partnerships and the collaboration speaks volumes in terms of how we build capacity in children, youth, and families. The importance of teaching folks how to fish is so important in how we revive a city such as Camden. And so I'm really pleased and proud of the work of each of the Renaissance School providers. And I know I speak on behalf of Superintendent Rouhanifard and Councilman Coleman when we thank them and welcome their ongoing commitment to not only providing a world-class education to our young people to and through college, but making sure that they're opening their doors to the community after school hours. And as I previously stated, this is something that residents have asked for many, many years ago, and to see this actually happening is exciting. We know we have a lot more work to do, and we'll continue to move Camden forward, and we'll continue to work together to make sure that our young people and their families experience the Renaissance of Camden, and that they prosper, grow, and thrive in this city during this very, very wonderful time in the history of Camden, New Jersey. So again, thank you all for joining us. God bless you. Let's continue moving Camden forward and keep praying for our city. We're doing a yeoman's job, but we're making progress, significant progress. God bless you. Thank you.